Hey guys, welcome back to News They Ain't Telling You. I thought this was our 30th show and I was just informed it's only our 29th, but welcome back. I just want to say really quick before we get into some quick news, my entire purpose of what I'm trying to do is to bring you quick news broken down so you can go out in the world and be informed. That's it. It's really simple. I'm trying to keep these down to less than 30 minutes, so please share, please watch, please subscribe. We need your guys' help so we can keep doing this. All right, quick news. Let's go. Big day today. Today is officially the first President Biden press conference that everyone has been anxiously waiting for. We're obviously recording this before his press conference, so unfortunately we don't have that news, but we'll give it to you straight as soon as it comes through. A lot of anticipation, so we shall see. Vice President Harris will be leading all border issues from here on out. She is the point person. President Biden said yesterday, her word is my word is her word. So they are one-on-one on this. So we'll see. The China tariffs that was put in place by then President Trump are staying in place right now as tensions seem to rise between China and America once more. I hope that eventually we can pop that balloon and sort of move on with our lives a little more free from China's tight hold in terms of products that we receive from them, cheap products. This is really positive, guys. We thought we'd never see it, but here they are. The Biden dogs are back in the White House. There was a photo of them hanging out on the balcony with Dr. Biden the other day. Major, apparently, the one who had a little bit of an incident with the Secret Service agent, he got some training. He's a rescue dog after all, right? So they both are back, and hopefully they are here to stay because having them in the White House just brings some type of joy to each and every one of us. Senator Sanders said the other day, and I quote, that he is uncomfortable with Trump being off of Twitter permanently. What's really funny about this, I just have to say this, is that he's uncomfortable with Trump being off of Twitter, even though Trump uses Twitter as a weapon. But yet Sanders had a problem with the tweets of Neera Tanden and was the reason why that whole nomination fell apart initially was because of Twitter. So he had an issue with her and her tweets, but yet he's okay with Trump being back on even though he weaponizes Twitter. So that's interesting. Cliche. Governor Newsom has picked a new attorney general for California. I believe his name is, if I'm saying it wrong, I'm so sorry, but Bonita, I think. He is the first Filipino-American Attorney General of California. The biggest news of all, the biggest shocker, was that he overlooked Congressman Schiff, Adam Schiff, of course, who everyone knows from the first impeachment trial. Everyone really thought that he was going to be the next Attorney General, and I think even the congressman thought he was going to be the next Attorney General. And, Governor Newsom's gotta do things perfectly right now, and picking an Asian American in this time of Asian hate crimes seemed like a smart choice for him, considering that he's in the middle of a recall. So his recall numbers, he's still doing all right in terms of getting past the recall. He's in the more people. I believe his percentage is 51%. Would vote to keep him in office, so he's still doing okay. So as long as he does more of these little things that he's been doing recently, he'll probably survive it. Jay Leno has come out and apologized for his Asian American jokes in the past, so that is that. The Ninth Circuit, which is the second most powerful court in the land, ruled that there is no right to carry firearms openly or concealed. So they're simply saying you have a right to own a gun, but you don't have a right to carry a gun, openly or concealed. That was a case that was in Hawaii. So that's a big, big dig at the NRA. So we'll see how they act. Dr. Rachel Levin was confirmed as the Assistant Secretary for Health. She is the first openly transgender in the history of our country in a presidential cabinet. So got that checked mark, and we're moving forward as a country. I love to see it. North Korea fired 2 ballistic missiles, meaning that they are testing missiles again. just want to say this about North Korea. They have no money. Like, they are an extremely poor country. I mean, people in the streets eat grass, and that's not an exaggeration. They're a lie of a country. And when North Korea starts doing anything with missiles or anything of the sort, I think to myself, where are they getting the money to do this? Are they getting it from Russia? Are they getting it from China? I don't believe they're getting it from Russia, because Russia is an economically poor country as well. So I don't know. That's what I think. I don't think of North Korea as the threat. I think the person behind North Korea, the country behind North Korea, as the threat. So we'll see. Of course, Kim Jong-un had a relationship, you could say, with then President Trump. That is because the rumor is that Kim Jong-un is obsessed with 90s pop culture. That's why he is very good friends with Dennis Rodman from the Chicago Bulls, the, of course, infamous Jordan Pippen Bulls. And he loved Bill Clinton, which is why Bill Clinton got involved when Barack Obama was president to get the prisoners home, and it worked. So no wonder he's not as excited about President Biden, just simply because President Biden doesn't necessarily represent 90s America pop culture. That is a true story, and I wish I was making that up, but I'm not. So maybe he's going to need to get Bill Clinton involved to start conversating again with him. And Trump supporters are loving every second of the fact that he's not answering his calls. The Pentagon is adding 2 more Texas bases for migrant children, because that hasn't stopped. So again, Vice President Harris is now in charge, so hopefully things can get a hold on here. Governor Cuomo, apparently, his family received special priority for COVID testing in the early days of COVID. I mean, this just keeps getting bigger and deeper and stronger, and from every single angle, it's just crazy. I mean, it's just crazy. Big tech CEOs, Google, Facebook, Twitter CEOs, all are testifying right now as we speak in Congress. Hopefully, we're going to see some regulations of big tech. Hopefully their day has come, and we won't see a bunch of the same old same where, you know, they just lie through their teeth and they get away with everything and senators go about their business. The Boulder shooter is to remain in jail without bond. Today was his first day in court, and they are keeping him in jail, thankfully, without bond. Supreme Court has said that a New Mexico woman can sue the police over excessive force, even though she escaped from the police officers. It was a 5-3 decision. If you add that up, that's only 8. Amy Coney Barrett did not oversee this case because the case had started prior to her coming onto the bench, so that's why it's 5-3. The 3 dissenters were shocking: Alito, Thomas, and Neil Gorsuch. That means that Kavanaugh came to the liberal side, and Roberts came to the liberal side. So there's that. Roberts wrote the opinion, and Alito wrote the dissent. Republicans, speaking of Supreme Court, Republicans are deeply questioning Amy Coney Barrett because she hasn't been as conservative as they thought she was going to be. I'm shocked myself. I've had a conversation multiple times with multiple different people of this is not what I expected from her. She's been with the liberals at times. She's been with the conservatives. She's sort of like a modern-day Sandra Day O'Connor, and I'm not saying that lightly because I hold Sandra Day O'Connor to very high standards. So this should be interesting. Mitch McConnell, of course, told Trump this is the woman to pick, so this could backfire on Mitch McConnell. Just like Mitch McConnell said Kavanaugh minus all the background stuff and craziness of like how he got his seat to begin with, and everyone should really look into why did Justice Kennedy retire and Kavanaugh's replaced, and all of a sudden Kavanaugh's debt is paid in full, and Kennedy's son works for the bank that had the debt of Kavanaugh. So there's that, guys. But Kavanaugh is actually turning out to be wishy-washy too, never knowing where he's going to stand. So that's 2 justices that were picked by Trump that aren't turning out to be these conservative gems. And I say it's simply because at the end of the day, Trump just plays a conservative. He really doesn't give a crap about evangelists. He really doesn't give a crap about God. He really doesn't give a crap even about abortion. But he played the role, and it worked, which is why maybe you got justices like these. Okay, there's also some trouble brewing in the Democratic world. More than just Sinema and Manchin, everyone. The 2 senators, the women senators Hassan and Shaheen from New Hampshire, are both saying that they are not in favor of eliminating the filibuster. Senator Tester of Montana is saying he is not in favor of the House gun bill that's about to go through. So we got to get whipping some votes, Schumer. That's your job now. Congress, just so everyone knows, is heading into a 2-week break. Their last day will be on Friday. Of course, we have Passover coming up, and then we have Easter. But instead of getting Passover and Easter, and coming back to work on Tuesday, no, they get 2 weeks off for a spring break. Even in high school, college, you only get like a week, right? So they get 2 full weeks off. And Schumer is promising that when they get back, they will vote on the gun bill, background checks, and the voting bill. So they get this nice 2-week period to just enjoy themselves. And, so right now is a perfect time to call your senator, call your House of Representative if you have strong feelings about the gun bill, the voting rights bill, anything that you have strong feelings on. Now is a really good time to call your home office. Senators have usually 3 to 4 offices depending on how large the state is. House of Representative, of course, has 1 office here in their district and 1 office in Washington, D.C. So call the home districts because they're home and they have a home staff. And the home staff doesn't get worked as much as the D.C. staff. So great time to call. Call your senators especially. Most of these bills have passed through the House. So call your senators. They're on a 2-week break, but it doesn't mean that they have to stop working. When they go home, they're supposed to check in with their constituents. So they're not just supposed to enjoy themselves and, la-di-da. 2 weeks, for gosh sakes. Come on now. So call your senators, everyone. Florida has opened vaccines to all adults, which is great news. Gabby Gifford, of course, the former Congresswoman, wife of now Senator Mark Kelly, her trauma surgeon is actually running for her old seat. So that is a roundabout way, and he is stating he's running because of gun issues. So being a trauma surgeon, I'm sure he's seen plenty of gun issues, and also he was Gabby Gifford and saved Gabby Gifford's life. It's remarkable. So he's running in Arizona. Britney Spears is asking the courts that her father be permanently removed from anything financially, personally. She wants him completely removed. It is the first step towards getting her some type of freedom. This judge is the first judge in her whole long spew of things that seems to actually be listening to her and her wants and her needs. So hopefully Free Britney will be sooner rather than later. Still a long way to go, but a step in the right direction. Dana Carvey, y'all remember him from SNL in the 90s. He did a great H.W. Bush. Well, he was on with Stephen Colbert. I know how to say his name now, guys. And he did one hell of a President Biden impersonation. And if you're looking to just laugh, just Google Dana Carvey Biden. And he is just on point, and he gets it. I think that he's just hilarious. It's hilarious, and it made me laugh, and right now we need laughs. And last little tidbit, right before I got on here, there's a story that's starting to swirl. I saw it on Politico.com about Hunter Biden, a gun, his ex-wife, and a dumpster. And Secret Service. So, and 2017 is when this all happened. So, I don't know what this means. I don't know what, who, what, where, how, but Hunter Biden, a gun, his ex-wife, a dumpster, and Secret Service. So let's get into some other stories, shall we? All right, so it was announced the other day that Vice President Harris was going to do a one-on-one with former President Clinton about COVID and the effects of COVID on women. And it's all during the Clinton Foundation sort of extra weekend long of like inspirational kind of thing that they do every year. This isn't anything new. So once that was dropped, oh man, social media went ballistic. There was a lot of Republicans who were like, can we stop with doing anything with Bill Clinton and women? Because let's be honest, he's, I guess in their mind, he's a masher and he's like a, I don't know. But it's really funny because it always then that leads to Monica Lewinsky, and that leads to impeachment, and that leads to affairs. And before I get into any of this, I just want to say, as a woman, I can't even imagine if my partner cheated on me and the whole world knew when it happened, and he lied about it. He lied to me and he lied to the nation, and then he came back to me and he said, no, I actually did this. So you resolve all that and you try to move forward, and yet just when you think you can move forward from it, it gets brought up all over again. Now, I just want to say this about President Clinton. President Clinton, women had the highest raise in modern day history, in pay, of course. The highest number of college graduates, women graduates. The highest number of women home ownerships. He signed into law the Family and Medical Leave Act, which was monumental, which was maternity leave, which was family medical leave, which was never done before in our country. He signed that into law. He signed CHIP into law, which was a health insurance for children that his wife had worked so tirelessly on. He tried to do universal health care, and of course that fell apart because they hated the Clintons. He gave us the first woman Secretary of State, the first woman Attorney General, the second woman justice, the first Jewish justice, in Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And all of that seems to be wiped away because he got a BJ from Monica Lewinsky. Now, I think giving us RBG stands alone in how monumental he was in women's rights. RBG is the reason that we have the Lilly Ledbetter Act, which, if you guys don't know what that is, it was a woman who she worked for Goodyear Tire. She found out that she was making less than the man standing next to her, even though they did exactly the same job. She took it all the way to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, of course, was one for the more conservative side. RBG wrote one of the best dissents she wrote in her entire career, and she actually read it on the court, which is not really typical, but she read it, and she basically said, the ball is back in your court, Congress. Well, it went back to Congress. Congress passed the Equal Pay Bill, which we're still not there yet, but it's a step in the right direction, the Lilly Ledbetter Act. President Obama signed it into law. And that was all because of RBG. That's just one case of the importance that RBG has done on the court for women. So Bill Clinton gave us her. Hillary said, you should pick RBG. Bill said, okay, he picked her. So like that to me explains to me all that he's done for women, on top of all the other facts that I just gave you. But that's all wiped away. I understand that what happened with Monica Lewinsky was wrong. I understand that she was 23, she was an intern, and he was the president of the United States, the most powerful person in the world. I understand how wrong that is. However, it's not impeachable, and the only reason they went with the BJ was because they couldn't get them on the real estate deals. So then it turned into, well, there's this girl that he's sleeping with, or he had an affair with, which everyone knew. So let's turn that into a story. Let's turn it into a family values thing. And it worked. He didn't know they had the dress. She had the dress, which someone's still going to have to explain to me why she kept that dress. It is beyond me. Mind you, she fell in love with him. She thought that he was going to leave Hillary for her. And when she got dumped, that's when the dress came in. That's when Linda Tripp came in. That's when all of this sort of fell apart. It's not okay that he lied. I understand that he lied under oath, and that's a really big deal. And he was impeached in the House, and I feel like forever he's going to have an asterisk next to his name because of that. But to me, it's Hillary and Bill's business. It's not our business. And it keeps getting brought up like it's this horrific thing, like he raped a woman or he sexually assaulted a woman. I know that the Republicans love to say, oh, well, there's this woman over here and this one. None of these other women have ever been verified. And I'm here to tell you that if Republicans had access to even sort of getting him on sexual assault or sort of getting him on rape, they would have. So he was a bad husband. He wasn't a bad president. He was a great president for women. And so that's why it totally makes sense that he's doing this one-on-one with the first woman vice president about how COVID has impacted women. So it just breaks down to the fact that there's a long list of truly bad men who do truly bad things in politics and who use their power for bad. Again, I am fully aware that him getting it on with his intern was wrong. But it takes two to tango, everyone. Was the press horrible to Monica Lewinsky? Yes, absolutely 100%. But is she innocent in all of this? No. And I've had people say you need to listen to her TED Talk and you need to... No, I am all for women's rights. I am all for, women survivors. I'm all for that. But this woman has made an entire career out of an incident with the President of the United States where because of what happened between the two of them, this man was impeached, all because Republicans were looking desperately for something, anything. And all because she had the dress. Because if she didn't have the dress, they had nothing. So I just want to say, like I said, there's a long list of bad men. And I hate to break it to everyone, but President Clinton ain't it. If you look at the facts of what he did for women in his presidency, it's astronomical. Now, not to say that there aren't people who do good things for women and are still bad men. I understand that. I have a full context of that. This is not me wanting to protect Bill Clinton because he's married to Hillary or any of that. I have an issue with Bill Clinton, and it's simply because of how dare you embarrass Hillary? How dare you lie to Hillary? How dare you make Hillary go through this and pay for your sins? That's what I have a problem with, but that has nothing to do with what he's done for women. He was a bad husband. And again, that's between him and Hillary, not any of us. But yet the Republicans love to go backwards and love to go this, all the while they just had a president who's been married 3 times and who told his second wife that he wanted her to have an abortion with their child, all while he slept with a porn star a day after his wife just gave birth. But yes, let's continue to say how President Clinton is horrible for women. And the difference here is that Trump didn't do nothing for women except for degrade them as often as he could. Publicly, privately, didn't matter. Any woman who went against him was the enemy. Yeah, that's not President Clinton. And I'm tired of this conversation. So maybe we can get to a point where we say, enough. All right, so we are in Oscar season, and they've been really boring the last couple of years, so hopefully they're better this year. But that being said, I thought it would be fun to do one-word Oscar winners, and Sam is going to do her thing, and here we go.
Okay, Jessica Lange.
Oh my God, that's like my, I'm not even kidding. She's my free pass. I have such a crush on her. It's so crazy. Okay, oh my God, Supreme.
Glenn Close.
Okay, everyone, I included her. I know she hasn't won an Oscar, but I'm like hopeful that she can like do it this year. Magnificent.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Ugh, God. Overrated.
Denzel Washington.
Oh, gosh. Magical. I'm liking the N words. Okay.
Michael Douglas.
Oh. I just want to say this about Michael Douglas really quick. Catherine Zeta-Jones, when she married Michael Douglas, I don't think she thought of the long picture because he's aged a lot in the last couple of years. With that being said, Michael Douglas. I know it's 2 words, but old Hollywood, because his dad is Kirk Douglas, and he's old Hollywood to me. That's what I mean.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh. Overlooked. He's always overlooked.
Tom Hanks.
Ugh. Dad,
Meryl Streep.
Oh my God. Okay. I mean, like 5,000 words for her. Oh gosh, how do I just say one word about Meryl Streep? Like Queen.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Ugh, God. Oh God. I've already said overrated for Daniel Day-Lewis, but Uh, like cliche. She's always the same cliche.
Emma Thompson.
Talented. Immensely talented. But talented, yeah. That's it.
That's it.
Okay, great. Okay, guys, until next time, make sure you check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And if you want to listen, you can always listen on Spotify, iTunes, and of course, you can watch on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and share. Until next time, OG of the HRC, signing out.